Welcome boys and girls to another 100 lap challenge video where I drive more than 100 laps to see how much I can improve my lap time. And today we will be driving around Spa-de-Francorchamps. After barely 2 laps, I could not believe my own lap time. Even with a few wiggles here and there, I was already down to a 1 minute 41.2, which is a whole tenth faster than the lap that I managed to put in PSGL last season. Maybe I am getting faster. However, don't get too excited now, because F1 esports drivers can go a whole second faster than that. I definitely want to break into the 1 minute 40s today. Will it be possible? And most importantly, how many laps will it take me? But I wanted to change up my strategy today. Instead of just doing laps, hoping to improve, I did what any normal human being would. I slid into the DMs of an F2 driver, Ben Marcos. He was kind enough to send me his reference lap of 1 minute 40.3, and I was absolutely shook. At first, I was unsure of myself, unsure whether the car would stick or it would simply fly into the wall at 200 miles per hour. But then I remembered the words of a wise man: when in doubt, flat out. But right away, just by comparing myself to Ben, I can see where I'm losing buckets of time. Turn 1 needs to be right, because it would affect your top speed down the entire straight. There's a massive flick at no name to help the car rotate. And at the end of sector 2, instead of peaking at 100% brake pressure, Ben only uses about 20 to 30% to help the car turn, allowing him to carry more speed through the corner, but also get back on the gas earlier. Armed with this new knowledge, it was time to get to work. We now have 3 areas to focus on. 3 main objectives. Turn 1, no name, which is turn 9, and also turn 14. If I can get these 3 corners right, I should be able to break into the 1 minute 40s, right? Well, at least that's what I'm hoping to achieve. First, I'm gonna try to nail turn 1 to the best of my ability. I found that by combining the rapid downshifts to the double flick, it was the best way to minimize braking distance and get the car turned in early enough so you can straight line the exit and just blow down the camel straight. That should easily give me a full 10th over my previous best. Next, no name. I used to fully lift my foot off the gas pedal, but if you remember from Ben's lap, he only comes off halfway. He flicks the wheel and gets back on the gas right away. And it took me a couple of tries to get this right. But that was not the full story. To get the car to turn when you flick, you have to lift off the gas a microsecond before you turn the wheel, otherwise you'll go straight on. But when you do get it right, damn is it satisfying. For turn 14, I still struggle with it, but I use a lot less brake pressure now than before. I believe it's a leftover habit from F1 23. Old habits die hard. After a good 40 or 50 laps, I managed to put this together. Combining the double downshift to the double flick, we get back on the power beautifully on the exit, and that's going to allow me, like I said, to bring more than 600s down the camel straight. Into sector 2, it is so easy to invalidate through these first few corners. We get no name right. We're almost at the end of sector 2 now, but we get a massive wiggle on the exit, and through turn 14, beautiful rotation, a little wiggle on the exit, but it can still be better. But when we do get to the bus stop and across the finish line, it is going to be 1 minute 41.021. Holy moly! This is the kind of improvement we are looking for. But the work is not over yet. I knew there was time to be found in the middle sector still. In fact, that's where all the time can be found around Belgium. My throttle control is not yet perfect in these first few corners. And if I can just nail this part and avoid invalidation, be more daring with the track limits and curb usage, I'm pretty sure I can still find another 10. I'm also quite hesitant on the power through this right-hander. If I can just combine these 2 things and add them to everything we have learned from the beginning of the video, we should be looking at a lap time of 1 minute 40.8, which is only 5/10ths away from Ben's lap. And it was not easy. At least another 20 or 30 laps were spent trying to perfect the technique, the line, and the throttle input it requires to nail this second sector. But when I finally did, it was glorious. I also noticed when going through the fast chicane at the end of the second sector, if you keep your car on the right before you swing it to the left, you can actually gain a lot of time here. And when I combine all 3 of those things together, finally, I managed to break into the 1 minute 40s. And I simply could not believe my eyes. I was absolutely elated. Honestly, I could not believe it. I thought this day would never come. Yet, I pushed on. I still got a dozen or so laps left before I hit the 100 mark. So I'm gonna make use of those to the maximum potential. And soon enough, I managed to put together this special little lap. Into turn 1, gotta be confident on the braking. Don't delay the overtake because that's gonna affect our top speed down the straight. Into Radion and then Eau Rouge. As soon as you come out, use a little bit of overtake to maintain your top speed. Throw the car in to the right and then to the left. Keep the car to the left to open up this right-hander as much as possible. Stay in medium for these next few corners. Using the engine braking to get the car to rotate, and through no name, nice little flick, a little wiggle, barely avoid invalidation, but we're still good, still up a full 10th. Easy flat through Prouan. Through the fast chicane, we gotta keep the car to the right in order to open up the second portion, but don't get too greedy on the gas because you will lose the car here. And tiny bit of braking to make the car turn. We're dead even going into the bus stop. This last corner is gonna have to be legendary. Brake as late as possible, use about 1 or 2% of braking to make the car rotate, and up to the line. What's it gonna be? It's going to be 1 minute 48.71.
Oh.
All we need to do now is to replicate the same lap time in qualifying. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong, right? Anyways, I'm extremely happy with the results that I've managed to get, and I quite like this way of preparing for my upcoming PSGL races. If you think the same, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my future content. This is Formula Kai signing off, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.